Oh.
Masai. One.
Hola! We made it to Spain. We're in Madrid. We've been here for a few days and we already love the city. It's so cool. We've spent our entire 20s being best friends.
We survived university together, traveled together,
Moved to a foreign country together, survived long distances apart,
and made it back together during a global pandemic.
all while making each other laugh along the way.
If we've learned one thing in our 20s, it's that having amazing friendships is everything.
And we want to say bon voyage to this decade in an unforgettable way.
So, since we've been besties for the last 10 years,
Over the next 10 months, we're going to try and finish visiting 30 countries before our 30th birthdays. And we couldn't do it without bringing you along. We're going to document the whole process, so grab your bestie and get ready for an amazing adventure.
today we're going to take you along on just like what we are going to do in Madrid. Starting off at a market that is only open on Sundays and has been recommended to us by a few different people, including Spanish people.
We're going to try some good food.
Yes, and we're going to, see where the day takes us. We're going to butcher some Spanish because we've been really trying and people have been so nice about that.
Found here, at least in Madrid, people have played along and have appreciated our attempt at Spanish, which is super fun to see. It's fun to be able to practice with locals.
I hope it's going to be a great day.
And luckily the market's about 5 minutes from our hostel, so we're headed to there now. Of course, I forgot something in our hostel room, so I ran back to get it. But luckily, like we said, it's only 5 minutes away. And hopefully this is a tradition that I'm gonna stop soon.
First, an iced coffee.
Always first. We've also been pleasantly surprised that lots of the hotter destinations so far have had lots of iced coffee options, which is kind of new in Europe for us.
They only put 3 ice cubes in, so it's more of a lukewarm coffee.
It's a chilled
coffee.
coffee.
No judgment about the iced coffee, but they do judge us when we say to go every single time. They go to go, and I go, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we were
We
expecting.
love to go. We love it. We've just found in general, people walk much slower. It doesn't seem, nothing's in a rush.
Even down here in the biggest city center parts, people are moving at just a very leisurely pace, which is so nice and calming in a way. Wow.
Well, we made it through the first little bit. It's crowded. It's hot as hell. There's 1,000 vendors selling fans, which might be picking one of those up. But lots of cool stuff, good price. Definitely more things than food.
It is hot out here. Yeah, let's look here. My first purchase.
I feel like I could move in Madrid.
So this is classic European market. We had tons of these in Amsterdam when we lived there. I guess it's in Spain as well. So it's these big piles. They're super cheap, but you really have to rifle through to find the gems. And it's there's some really good stuff and some really crap. But it is kind of a treasure hunt if you like that sort of thing.
Okay, you need to try one. Look at the sunflower one. Oh my god. Wow. That's fair. You're not really going to be able to do it up. Oh my god.
I really love it, and I think it looks so cute, but I'd have to give something up, and I'm not quite ready to give something up.
On to the next. Aww.
I keep forgetting my sunglasses.
So, another pair. I like those better. What about these? Is this too much? I feel like you look good with a pointy. Okay.
What about that one?
Those are cute. And they're classic but are ba-ba-boom. You know what I mean?
Gracias.
Gracias.
There's 1, 2 for €5.
And she gave us cases.
It also actually was 3 for €5.
But we couldn't find any others.
And also we have a backpack. I already have a sunglass.
I have 2 pairs already, yeah.
My life's mission is to get Catherine to come here.
She would love it here. Let's Snapchat her right now. Catherine, we have found a new mission in life.
And that's to get you to come to Madrid.
Oh my god, we think you would love it so much. We're in a market.
Everything here is so cheap.
It's so cheap, but so lively and cultural. And we're in a market right now. Everything
My
is...
food's are burning.
Oh no.
That's good, so that it matches the red.
Oh no. Honestly, freaking adorable. You on the beaches with that? But you can't crush it, is my only concern, but it's so cute.
You can crush this.
Oh, okay.
How much? 15? What size? One. One size.
What, ¿cuánta?
50.
Okay.
Eso.
Gracias. Habla solo.
Precio, talla, size.
Ah, you know. Yeah, exact.
Gracias.
Gracias, buongiorno. I don't know if buongiorno is Italian. Oh no, it's buen dia. Oh my god, buen dia. Shoot. I need to look this up. So we came back down to where we made it to before and realized there is literally so much market left to go. It just keeps going and going and going down this hill. There's music playing. There's so many cool stands, like a lot of like artwork, jewelry, paintings and stuff like that. Mackenzie's still fighting for her life.
I thought, because we'd heard so much about this market and we got to, I was like, well, it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. And then I was like, thank God we went back, because there's literally...
Yeah, we weren't even going to come back down, and we're like, let's just walk through it one more time. And we're like, we missed all this. The music everywhere is providing such an amazing and lively atmosphere. I love it.
I'm just shocked about how much I've loved Madrid.
It's so lively. There's so much cool things to do. The people are amazing and have just been so friendly. Like, it makes me want to spend more time in Spain.
Yes, and I have been kind of on a kick where I'm like, I don't think I like big cities. Madrid has totally converted me back.
It somehow is a big city and it feels like it, but it has a certain like leisure to it.
Yeah.
And a certain like, ease to it, where it's like, it's not like people are dead in the eyes the way they are in some big cities, you know? Like, everyone is actually happy to be here. And that's so, oh my God, Taylor Swift. And that is so fun.
Also, walking in a market filming makes me feel like Karen Nate.
Insert a clip of them beside us here. Mackenzie has purchased multiple heat deterring devices in this walk.
That's so hot.
It's so freaking hot. It doesn't show up at all on your hair too. So we just finished at the market. It was amazing. So cool to see.
I'm like, I got a new hat.
She's a brand new woman.
Gotta protect that face. We are going to go get churros. It is an interesting thing, Jonathan, I've been talking about, is like all the big food is like hot. Like, it's like tapas. I feel like it's kind of hot.
Yeah.
Like churros. And when it's hot, like, I'm not hungry, but I should be eating.
And we're starting to, like, every day we feel hungry, but don't feel the most appetized because of how hot it is. So you just gotta start eating.
So we have about a 20-minute walk till food, and then
on our way to churros, we got really hungry and hot, and we saw this really cute pizza place. It was full of people. It was really poppin'. It looked so delicious. So we stopped in to try some pizza first.
Also, fun fact for the Diet Coke girlies, in Spain, I haven't seen it everywhere, but they do definitely have it at like the fast food places or in the stores. There's Coca-Cola 00, and that tastes like Diet Coke. Coca-Cola Zero more tastes like Coca-Cola Zero, but Coca-Cola 00 is for the Diet Coke girlies.
All right, we got the pizza with serrano ham and arugula and also parmesan. Oh, this looks amazing. First of all, the sauce is incredible. I don't even love tomato sauce that much, but this, I would just eat this sauce. And the ham is a little bit less crispy than the other serrano ham that I've tried, but it's so flavorful and like perfect amount of salty. Yeah. So we just ordered one pizza at that place and shared it, and we've learned that this is a really good way to go about it, because 9 times out of 10 when we eat the one dish together, we're full.
And we finish it.
We finish it completely as opposed to leaving anything behind. So it is better on the budget to just order one dish and finish it up completely.
And if you're hungry, you can always order more.
Always. After these hills in Madrid, we realized we are not physically, emotionally, spiritually ready for Portugal and all the high up beach towns beyond.
Yeah, where you have to go down to the beach and then
Back up.
I'm gonna have a good bite.
So we just made it to El Retiro Park, and it is a massive park in Madrid. Think of like Central Park, but Madrid's version. It's so beautiful. There's so many cute places to sit and like little quaint corners and stuff that are shady to tuck into.
There's lots of trees, so it is quite shady. a great place to like beat the heat.
There's even water fountains and places to like fill up your bottles, and it's so sweet. You can see the dogs drinking from them, and like it's so cute.
We came here the other day and absolutely loved it. We knew we had to come back.
We're gonna have a little siesta this afternoon in the park.
We have a couple drinks. It'll be nice. Okay, we've been having these drinks non-stop. I really like this flavor. It's just like, I feel like the plain flavor.
And I've been going for the naranja orange.
And they're kind of like a Gatorade.
Yeah,
but
sort of like a Spanish
or like
Gatorade.
A Gatorade Zero, because there's not really like a lot of sugar in it.
But it's like a hydrating, like mineral drink.
Ready for some ASMR?
Oh.
Here, maybe. Wait, I'll hold the mic. You do the tap.
Oh.
Should we become ASMR people?
One-handed.
Maybe I should become an ASMR.
All right, let's try them.
This one has like a it's almost like a slightly sweeter like lemon water, not carbonated, which is nice because lots of the kind of like Powerade, Gatorade, the European versions of that are carbonated, which for me is not exactly what I want.
I agree. When you need like a hydrating drink, it's not necessarily
You're fighting
the time.
for your life. And
It's not necessarily the time that I want to have a carbonated drink. Mine is sort of like an orange flavor. It kind of tastes like a light version of Fanta, which is why I keep going for this one. Delicious. Cheers. So over it. It is around 9 p.m. So in typical Spanish fashion, we are headed to dinner now. It was very hot today, so we needed to go home for a second, recuperate after the park. They typically eat dinner much later here, around 9:30. So we've adjusted ourselves to a Spanish timeline, and tonight we're going to a traditional tapas bar called Cerveceria El Diario. And this place was recommended to us by our tour guide on the walking tour that we did on the first day, so I think it's gonna be good.
To do a walking tour, like get recommendations from them.
And specific ones, because they always ask you at the end if you have questions and stuff, and we specifically said, we're looking for good tapas, not a tourist trap, let us know. And he had a couple good recommendations, so we're going to the one that's open today.
Okay, I'm trying an olive. I mean, I've tried olives before, but not in Spain. I'm not the biggest olive person, but this is pretty good. What was it called? Okay, this is vermouth, like a Spanish wine. It looks like Coca-Cola, which I like, so let's give it a go. It's good. Kind of tastes like a mulled wine, but cold. But I like it.
And this is the beer I was seeing everywhere and on all the pictures, so I'm gonna try it. I thought I was ordering a pint, but I accidentally got a bottle. Let's try it. It's strong. It's actually quite nice. It's not, how would I describe that? It's a little bit darker than like an ale, but it's not hoppy at all, which I don't really like, so I'm glad.
You gonna try it?
I guess. Not for me. Not really my vibe. Honestly though, it's true, these are better than some I've had. They're less like vinegary bitter, a little bit more like flavorful as an olive should be, I think. Honestly, could I be convinced by the end of this olive? Maybe. I'm kind of liking it now. This is not so like harsh as olives that I've had. I was expecting a lot worse. It still is not my most favorite, but would I eat this? Yeah. So we didn't really know exactly what this was when we ordered it, but it is a true Spanish experience, unlike anything we've seen before. We basically came to Spain just for this. It's chicken fingers and fries. Let's try it. It is chicken fingers with a special sauce though, and it's honey chicken with a honey mustard. So that's fun. It is. It smells like Chick-fil-A up in here. Honestly, it is. Gracias. Yum, that looks good too. I haven't really had chicken fingers like this where it's like not a thick breading, but it's super crispy. Okay, let's try this. Should I cut it? And this is a bacon and goat cheese canapé. Yum, this looks amazing. It's very hot. I wonder if I should wait for 1 second. The bacon and goat cheese. The bacon is delicious. Really delicious bread, really delicious bacon, really delicious goat cheese. And the flavors work so well together. And the bread is perfect amount of crunchy but soft in the middle. It kind of looks a little bit more like Canadian bacon, almost a cross between like bacon and the Serrano ham that I had earlier. It's not fully crispy like American bacon, but it's not like a full piece of ham. It definitely is a strip of bacon.
Okay, so another example of us really stepping out of our comfort zone, trying the local cuisine, a Caesar salad. But it said it had a homemade sauce, and I was like, it does look like it's the same sauce as the chicken fingers.
We tried our best. We didn't know what we were ordering.
We've tried our best. That's part of the experience when you travel. You don't always know what you're ordering.
It looks good. And
sometimes you end up with something really weird, and sometimes you end up with something that you thought was going to be weird, and it's very normal. Also, with chicken, which I wasn't expecting, because for the price, I feel like I wasn't expecting chicken. So, Chicken Fest 2024, the sequel here. I think it's a slightly different sauce. Slightly being the operative word here. Really good. Different than like a Caesar salad back home, but like sometimes when you're traveling, you just need some vegetables. And that's what I was thinking with this. So, all good.
Yeah, let's cross. Okay, we just finished at El Servicieria El Diario. I probably said that wrong. What did you think?
It was alright. It was fine. Like, the food was nothing. It wasn't bad at all.
We weren't exactly sure what we were ordering, and it's true. Maybe that was the problem. And I feel like you made a good point when you said that like the other places we've been to were all just as vibey and just as atmospheric. This place was as well, but some of the other places had better food.
Yeah, it was like pretty comparable price-wise.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be saying to someone like, you must go here. It wasn't a bad meal by any means.
Yeah, we went because it was strongly recommended by our tour guide, and it was very popular. Obviously, it's very popular for a reason. Yeah. And maybe we just didn't order the right things, but it wasn't that it was terrible. It was just okay compared to some of the other places we've had so far.
Yeah, and I will say, most of the restaurants we've gone to, we try to do a little bit of Spanish because we find that fun. The servers speak English very well, like jump into English when our very tiny bit of Spanish falls through. That restaurant, they did not speak English at all, so we really had to grunt through Spanish, which again, totally fine, and probably signals that it is like a very Spanish-leaning restaurant. I think it's an interesting point. I don't really know where else I'm going with that, but
it's a good point.
Churros con chocolate, por favor. And uno café con leche.
Good morning. The next day, because we were very full yesterday and fooded out, so we decided to come back this morning to try churros con chocolate. We just ordered in the first line and ordered inside, and then now we're waiting in the second line to sit at the table. I'm excited for churros. This place definitely has a more touristy feel to it. It's in the sort of touristic area of town, but it's been recommended to us by multiple different Spanish people and by our tour guide, so I think it's gonna be really good. All right, we've got our table.
First off, we got one order, and I mean, we'll check back at the end, but I'm pretty sure that will be perfect for 2 people. So I guess let's give it a go. Oh, I still will be eating that. Oh, wow. Really good. The chocolate is like incredible, but I think that's why you come to this place for the chocolate. Churros are good. They're definitely not like churros in North America. They're not covered in sugar and they're not as sweet, but the chocolate is incredible. Overall, delicious. And I think if you want to try churros and chocolate, you won't be disappointed.
It's not like dipping churros in hot chocolate, but it's also not just like straight up melted chocolate. It has a little bit more of like a liquidy consistency to it. And I was expecting it to be like really sickly sweet. And I'm not the biggest chocolate person usually because I sometimes find it too like rich for me. But in this case, it's not it.
I think one thing about traveling that people are really nervous about falling into tourist trap and are really cautious. I want to do things outside of the box. I want to do things like not all the tourists are doing. And I think that is a good thing to keep in mind and trying to see like outside of like the main touristy area. But I always want to encourage people that if you really want to do something, even if it's a very popular thing for tourists, you should do it. Like there's usually a reason it's very popular for tourists, and that's because it's great, it's fun. People have been wanting to do it for a long time. It's like going to Paris and never like looking at the Eiffel Tower would be wild. And I feel like this is a perfect example of something that is very touristy, but I'm happy we came to do it and it is delicious. So it's a tourist situation for a reason.
Okay, our final stop today was supposed to be this church where you can buy cookies from nuns, and this isn't exclusive to Madrid. You can get this other places in Spain, but the one in Madrid has gone kind of viral, and we saw this earlier this week on our tour, and it was closed until Monday, so we came back today, but unfortunately no sweets until Tuesday, so the nuns have had a busy weekend. But typically you would knock this little knocker, and then there's a turning shelf on the inside where you deposit your money, and then the cookies will get spun back around the other way. Yeah, next time we're back. So that pretty much wraps up our time here in Madrid.
We came to Madrid because it made sense geographically on the route, but we've ended up loving it so much more than we thought we would. It's Europe's second biggest city, I believe. It definitely has that big city feel. So if you like cities like Toronto or New York or London, gives a bit of that vibe, but it feels slower and more quaint because there's all these different pockets of the city. The people have been so kind, so gracious, really tried to use Spanish way more than I thought we were going to. Most people we've come across speak English, but they've been really willing to let us like work through the Spanish and help us with that, which is really fun. I think lots of big cities, if they can speak English, they'll just jump into that, even if you're trying to speak the language.
I agree. I feel like we've just connected to the city so much more than we thought we would. And we are both big city people, but in the past few years have realized how draining living in a big city can be. And I think it's been kind of eye-opening to be here in a big city that has a slower pace, like you said, and where there's just like light in people's eyes. There's so much life.
Pretty clean too for a big city.
It's very lively too, like just walking around in the evening.
Like restaurants are often spilling out into the streets. From what we've seen, Spanish people are so affectionate, so like way more PDA than I think I've ever seen in my life. Not just with like couples, but with like friends and
parents and kids.
Yeah,
even kids amongst each other and stuff like that.
Yes, which, I don't know. It just was kind of
It's refreshing
warm.
as a North American. Yeah, it is refreshing. We just came here as a stop, and it has ended up being a city that we really connected to, which is like the best part of traveling, when you find a place like that that you unexpectedly love.
So
this has been a wonderful time here in Madrid. And let us know if you've ever been here, if you've ever been to Madrid, and what you think of the city. And all of our socials will be linked down below. The next time you see us, we'll be headed to Portugal!
Woo! Hey, we made it to, wait, look to it. Am I in a good spot? Or is it just my dress? We got B-roll.
Still fighting for her life. Oh, it went out. Oh no, it didn't. It's so weird. Look in the video. It looks like it's slow. That's so weird. I fell too.